This is the Deputy Director for the Cumberland County Health Department, Public Health Department. What's the official thing here on it?
I think I don't know either, base to be
Yeah.
honest. It's I think on our official paperwork, it's Cumberland County Department of Public Health.
Okay.
But public health, Public Health Department, Public Health Center is what our sign says off of Hillsborough Road.
See, that's
We
what
answer
throws
to
me
it
off.
all.
Yes, you do. Well, let me first of all say she is a trooper because Tamra's not feeling well. And she texted me this morning, and I texted her back, and she said, "Well, can we do it over the phone?" I said, "Don't even worry about it, and just when you're sick, or whatever it might be, you're under the weather." And I looked up there, you are walking through the door. I said, "She must not got my information."
Yeah, technology failed me a little bit this
That's
morning,
right.
but
Well,
I
look, we're
try to
glad.
be dependable.
Well, we're glad that you're here, and you guys come once a month. And part of your staff was involved with the Senior Living Expo yesterday. I was out there for a second. That's a big thing that was over at the Department of Social Services, right across the street from you guys, and they just took care of everyone that came in there. You had some of your staff there as well.
Yeah, so we've participated for the past couple of years. Department of Social Services is our human services partner. We share a parking lot, and our staff typically try to go and offer information that we have about things that we're offering in community that is related to seniors or ways they can take advantage of our programming. Our health promotions coordinator, one of our educators in the health education division, hosts seniors bingo at some of the senior centers around town. She also facilitates a class called Matter of Balance. It's a falls prevention class that they facilitate that older adults typically love to participate in. It gives them a chance to socialize and exercise and learn a little bit. So we shared some of that information, and then of course hot topics that are upcoming for summertime. So, taking care of yourself, summer safety, heat safety, ways to get access to resources if they need them as well.
I was over there and I saw the little flyer about the balancing thing, and you don't really
Mhm.
don't think about just walking around
Mhm.
and not falling. And I mentioned someone that my doctor started asking, "Well, have you fallen lately?" And I'm thinking, "What are they asking me that for?"
I didn't give any evidence that could
Well,
be a thing.
the problem for me is I fell the other day.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
because I have vertigo.
Okay.
And so I got up too quickly or
Yeah.
something, and the room seemed like it was spinning. Fortunately, I didn't hit my head on anything.
Yeah, I'm so
But
glad.
but I fell in here yesterday. I'm just falling apart, Kenny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
We got to keep you together, and that's our hope when we're speaking with folks out at events such as that Senior Living Expo, is to provide them with information that can tell them how to bounce back if they do have some sort of fall or episode, but also give them the ways to prevent those sorts of things. So sometimes when you have a chronic condition, it's a little more difficult. You can't really control it or anticipate that it's going to happen with vertigo and things like that, but you can take other measures. So the way that you get in and out of your vehicle matters. The way, if you've had hip replacements or knee replacements or injuries, how you cater your body to those, and then how you get in and out of seating,
well,
and then the safety precautions at your house, the things that you have in your bathroom. Do you have a grab bar? Do you have a notification system so that, if you live
you fall.
alone and you fall, can someone come and attend to you? I heard a little bit about your previous segment in preparing for the future. And so older adults may, want to maintain their independence and live on their own, but it's important that they also give some access to their personal information to their kids or their loved ones to assist if they should have an emergency.
Well, you make a good point, and the way you get in your car, for example,
Mhm.
I can't get in my vehicle anymore by putting one leg in and said I have to turn sideways and
That's the way
sit
you
down,
should. Yes.
and then to flip my legs in.
Yep.
But when I was a young buck, I'd jump in the car,
And take off.
look at Kenny. Kenny is in there. What is that?
I'm doing the balance thing. I'm sure she'll tell you about the test. You stand on one foot to see how long you can do it and count the
Oh,
seconds.
we did that with Dr. Green one time when she came in.
And I'm
And-
up at
and-
3 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
well,
you did 10.
Yeah,
I mean, three is decent.
no.
Thank you.
It's decent.
No,
I'm not going to
it's
turn that down.
terrible.
No,
It's
here's the
terrible.
thing. So we're doing our thing in here. I'm 70. What are you, 60 something, Kenny?
Yeah,
I'm
whatever.
no man. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, well, the point I'm going to make is
I'm
then
60, almost 69.
well, the thing about it is we were standing here balancing everything,
Mhm.
and then Dr. Green came in, and she just did one of these things like for
Like
Well,
taekwondo or
thank you.
something for a
yeah, the
second.
praying
Yeah, like
mantis
she
pose.
was like for 40 seconds.
Yeah.
I said, would you sit down?
She's very healthy.
I mean, she's showing all the other stuff. I said, I can do it too. Look, in the
You've
chair. I
got
did
it.
it for the chair.
I'm sure you've got it.
It's
Yeah,
my chair
she's-
taekwondo. Tai chi.
That's so funny. She's definitely a great example of good health as well,
Yes.
teaching it and living it at the same time. But that's the right way to do it. So sitting down and then turning into your vehicle, it prevents you from having an episode because you're catering to those body parts. Yeah.
Well, and
Those are things you learn in classes like A Matter of Balance.
the other thing I do in my old age, and I've been doing it for some time, is I walk down the steps backwards.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How are you seeing? Do you use the banister? Are you looking over your shoulder?
Yeah, I'm looking over my shoulder. And I
Okay.
but I am so trained at doing it because I've done it so long now. I did it because of my knees,
Okay.
and I was 250 pounds, and it was the weight.
Easier.
Well, I mean, just the weight on my knees when you come down the
Yeah.
steps forward.
Mhm.
If you think about it, I'm standing up here. People can see when you put your first leg down, all of your weight is on that
yep.
bent knee
Yeah.
until you go to the next foot, and then. But when you go down backwards, your leg is straight, and then it stays straight and goes on to a straight leg and goes
Yeah.
on to a straight leg.
But when you were at that weight, you were younger, and so you could do that. Right now, at this, I mean, I wouldn't recommend people like my age. I wouldn't go down the steps
Yeah,
backwards. There's no way I'm going to
No.
do it. But you're used to it because
But you
you're
can
Gilbert.
still modify. So I'd still suggest that if
Okay.
someone needs to relieve some pressure on their knees, they can kind of go down at an angle to the side. The key there is still hanging on to something. So use the banister.
Well, and I do. I
Yeah.
hold on to the banister when I come down all the time. And I was over at the VA hospital yesterday to get checked out. And instead of taking the elevator, I walk down the steps backwards.
Okay.
And I try to walk whenever I can. And so, but coming down the steps backwards to me is pretty natural, even to the extent my 6-year-old grandson, Ski, saw Pop doing this.
And now he walks down
My daughter
backwards.
called me and said, Ski's walking down the steps backwards.
They do what they
He's 5,
see
6 years
and
old. He
learn.
got any problems with his knees?
Yeah, but we are their biggest example. That's how they learn to move themselves through the world. And that's a great segue for what I did want to share with you today, which is our Empower Them segment. So we are in May and we know that it's Mental Health Month, but it's also what we call Sex Ed for All Month. And it's an educational opportunity for us to provide reproductive and sexual health decision-making education to young people, or for all folks really. But we're going to be hosting a Empower Them session, which is an education session where we'll be talking about mental health, hygiene, healthy discussions and communication practices with teens and their parents. And that's going to be on May 15th from 6 to 8:30 at Kiwanis Rec Center. And so that's another area where parents can be that example and show them that, hey, we can have these conversations. We can talk about the things that matter, be that example. So it might not necessarily be walking down the stairs backwards, but it's another opportunity for adults to show young people how to do it.
Well, you make a good point, and folks who are listening to me are just saying, man, I'm going to try walking down the steps. And now we're going to get 15 calls where people fell down the steps because they're walking down backwards like Gilbert Bay said. I always say, whatever I say health-wise, always check with your doctor,
With your provider,
to
yeah.
see if that is going to be right for you. Just don't
Exactly.
do what I'm doing, being a vegetarian or a pescatarian or a vegan or whatever. Do what is right for you, but make sure you check with your medical provider to make sure it is a good thing for you to do or attempt.
This is right. And then
Yeah.
if you want to experience any of those A Matter of Balance classes or take advantage of any of the other health promotions or seniors groups that we have and host, you can reach out to us at the health department, 910-433-3890. We'll take you directly to our health education division, and they can share with you all of the upcoming classes that we may have, or you can check them out on our website or our social media, Facebook and Instagram.
Well, look, we appreciate you coming in under the weather, and I wish you weren't here right now.
Oh, no.
Just because you didn't get my message not to come in because you texted me. I said, "Oh, she's on the weather."
Yeah.
Again, I would never tell anybody who's sick to come in anywhere.
I-
As a matter
I'm-
of fact, if you're out there driving right now and you do not feel well, you have my permission to go home. Tell your boss I was listening to Gilbert Bays on the
Bays
radio,
said.
and he said, well, do you have a note? Yeah, Gilbert Bays gave me a note. He said he'll sign a note for me, and so I can go home because I don't feel good. Now,
Well, let's take note that Gilbert Bays said it. Please don't say that the health department
No.
and Tamra Morris said that.
And I take full responsibility. And I would suggest that if you haven't left home yet, you pick up your phone and call your boss and say, Oh, whoa, I don't feel good.
Oh, no.
Use that voice, the Elmer Flood. It's now I've called in sick on occasion when I was on Channel 5. I say, hey, look, I'm not coming in. I don't feel well. And the person, you know what the person said? You sound fine. Yeah, but my leg is broke.
Well, that's
That
really,
has nothing to do with my
it has nothing to do
with my
it.
voice.
Well, we want to acknowledge people's experiences and show respect for their self-care. So I appreciate you extending that grace to me. I did want to make sure that, I mean, we only come once a month now. We used to do it a little more frequently. So I wanted to make sure that we were able to share out some of our upcoming opportunities and give some information to folks. So we thankful for having the opportunity to have folks listen.
Well, thank you. We'll see you next month, and I hope you have a good weekend.
Thank you.
And,
you too.
Whatever you have right now, take whatever you have to do. Let me give you some advice. Can I give you some advice?
You can.
Take 2 aspirins and see me in the morning.
Okay.
That's $50, please. $50 worth of
I
medical
don't have
advice.
the copay today.
Is that what y'all do over the health department? Come inside and
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right,
We're gonna give you a little more of a heads up and,
Yes, you will.
take care of folks how we can.
All right, well, look, thank you, and we appreciate the service you provide.
Yeah.
And like I said, your folks were out there at the Senior Living Expo, and I saw that thing with the balance. Where there's a flyer with some old gray hair folks. I would be gray hair too now.
Marinated.
That's right. I had my hair, if I grew it, it would be all white right now. But Kenny, they were out there like this, balancing and everything and doing their thing.
Yeah, I looked like I was surfing a lake and make it just like so long and fall off.
I didn't know what Kenny was doing over there. All right, you're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got local news from CBS 17.
Good morning. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young. A second person now under arrest in connection to a murder in Hope County. Ashlyn Berner was arrested Tuesday in Hope Mills, charged with accessory after the fact to the murder in the death of Dylan Herbert. He was found shot to death last week in Rayford. Thomas Flood is charged with first-degree murder in the case. Both are in the Hope County Jail. He is held without bond. Berner's bond is $750,000. A Fayetteville man now facing charges after police say he was caught on camera spray painting swastikas on the side of a building. Police say a picture shows 18-year-old Taquan Vereen vandalizing a building on Riley Road Saturday afternoon. Officers say they saw the video of him on social media spray painting other properties too, then tracked him down doing the same thing on Saturday. He's now charged with damaging property and second-degree trespassing. Another day, another jump in gas prices. The national average is $4.56 a gallon, 3 cents more than yesterday. This is according to AAA. In North Carolina, the average has climbed to $4.22, a $1.50 more than a year ago. Locally, the average in Fayetteville is $4.18 a gallon. NASCAR bringing its series of community outreach events to Fort Bragg. Mission 6 is an interactive educational visit featuring some of the circuit's top drivers and racing teams. Tomorrow, Austin Dillon and members of his Richard Childress racing team will meet with the troops. All this comes ahead of the Coca-Cola 600, which is happening at the Charlotte Motor Speedway on the 24th. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young.
Plan for a rainy Thursday with a few isolated thunderstorms and a high of 72. The rain will come to an end by late evening with clearing skies overnight and a low down of 52. And then Friday will be mainly sunny with a high of 73. While Friday will be a sunny and cool but comfortable day, this weekend will warm back into the low 80s with a few showers possible. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Rachel, thank you. Right now we've got 71 degrees in Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and also in Olivia. You're listening to News Talk 640 with WFNC.
This report is sponsored by